Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to be looking at a new locomotive. Today we're going to be looking at the Chesapeake and Ohio C&O H-7. This is a 2882 articulated, and it is part of their Royale line. Now what that means basically is it was made in Japan, not Korea at the time, and they were more expensive and they had a bit more backhead, and they had more backhead detail and more detail. And yeah. So that'll do, we'll open it. You can kind of see, or well, now you can see, you know, it's a fancy box. And some of them have like all the factual information of them there, but this one doesn't. This is actually the second H7 I've had. I had one about almost 2 years. I got one 2 years ago and sold it because I was able to find a Allegheny that I liked more. So I sold mine to a friend. Luckily, if I ever want it back, he'll sell it to me, but I got this one. But yeah. So here is the tender. You can see it's got sound holes, and it is a little plaque there that says it's a C&O H-7, made 2882 custom brass. It's 65 of 100. Now, I'll get back to that in a second, but I mean, it's a basic tender. You know, you got your C&O water, like the long lengthwise water hatches. Now it's a little bit more square. If you look at like a Greenbrier, or which is identical to a Kana, you can see that this is a bit more squared off, but that's about it. You know, just little things. But open this little boy, or big boy up here. Set it up here. Here's the locomotive. Kind of, you can see the front's got that signature brutish C&O look with the flying air pumps. Oops, sorry, I thought I dropped something. And then this has a bit more barren, but I mean, it's just so long that it kind of it's just really cool. I mean, I don't know what else to say. And here is the cab. I'll show you a bit better view of that in a second. So this is the second time they made the H7, and basically this one has dual can motors. So this one is powered and this one's powered, versus the old one, which was only one motor. Now, what are the advantages of that? Well, I mean, first off, it's quieter. So, you know, it's basically like if you just have two regular mechanisms, it'd be a lot quieter. So that's one major improvement. And the other reason is, I think at least for me now with DCC, is you can do offset, you can control each motor individually. So what you can do essentially is you can do like the chuffs, if the rear one slips or the front one slips, you can kind of, like, they come out of sync, and it'll just make a really cool experience. The other thing is, these are all Phillips head screws. So in the earlier versions, if you notice how all these screws are Phillips, they were all flat heads. So trying to get like down in there with a flat head was a pain in the butt. Also, about the builder's plates, they said there's only 83 of these. So either there's 17 very rare versions, or I don't know. I'm just kind of confused, but it is number 65 made, so kind of cool. And then I'll show you the cab. So this is also improved. This is you just squeeze the cab and it comes off. But on the earlier versions, it was just press fit. So what would happen is a lot of them would not have cabs roofs anymore, which is not good. So luckily this was fixed, so you can see in there. That's kind of one of the gimmicks of the Goem series, because that doesn't, I mean, that just is a gimmick, in my opinion. It's cool, but at the same time, it doesn't add any functional value to the model. So that's why I call it a gimmick. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that little section. I'll give you some better facts on the next, and then we'll enjoy the model running. The C&O H-7A, or Chesapeakes, were built in 1926 by Baldwin. There was 25, with being numbered 1570 through 1589. The engine and tender combined weighed 872,000 pounds. They had a boiler pressure of 215 pounds, had 57-inch drivers, and had 108,000 pounds of tractive effort. They were mainly used in service in the Clifton Forge area and were then soon taken to the Allegheny Mountain section. However, by the 1940s, they were mostly phased out. As the 210-4s and 2666s were used on the main line and heavy freight service, they were phased out. However, they were much too large to use on smaller branch service lines. So, by 1943, they were all scrapped or sold off. However, many of these engines lived on the UP and RF&P.